Abusia, and they are quack din komobi because I am me, and I frame me a din ahodo nyine wo wiase. Na ne woman say, Adie yani se sebe, but then ya ojina baller so. Na odi baller so aduane no. Onu hu a wote wo kan mu se wabodam. Unsu hu ne se wabodam. Tie. Nimdie a nipa eni. Ena sebe Oma na dwimu so mbie nkwa akire ntini a wanya no ne a ode agum no ehwa na ogina nti ote bibia na ohu bibia ode nani keke na ode calculate na wate niame ewo wiase ase nanso niame ewo wiase ne bebrebe ayete say diamonds and now gold. Diamonds are in carbons. They look dirty, they don't look nice, but ukomu a na hu ne ewo same as gold. Se buo ne da ho na gold ni wom no wanhwe ne ye de ma akora beto akone nanso so woto obo ase na paapai mu nyam ekokoro a na wuhu adepa a ewom ewiase obi ode nani ehwe niama aniso no making decision ni say nipa no ono na obetumi aka kire say mentally oye poor enye obi oni sika no oye poor sebe obi a na adwene wo fom ono na obetumi aka kyensa asumasi we oye poor enne no ade nipa bodin a sign nim dia sebe ebinumu need to some level bi ntu ne ebi mu afa ho ken nsem bi na adane ehunehuna me fa ba akopɛ na me nko deep me bu ani no keke na ye nyina ya share this knowledge no na se wo se ye nkomu deeper we will go deeper and see what is there. And then I want us to talk about Baphomet. Abusia, you know I have been called names, a dinya hodo. Those who mostly say Maame Grace is attacking Christianity say those things on the basis that we have too many enslaving principles of Christianity. Eniyama na omachechere aswa ya dwenimu no ama sebe ye ninkwa na drive yen na emom no sebe ye mfetifiti niyama mu nkwa akire. This is the reason why and obi beka we ende otena na wadane ade foforo ye attacking crofo based on what we see from the Garden of Eden up till now. Bibi esi o Kristo ni subia no eye nani omo say apple no Eve ohun ye ena eye ne fe ena odi ye ni ye feelings ni ye emotions, even the lowest five senses no ye mfa ni nyina mbom enhwe nipa ansana ya to nipa ni din ana ye place nipa no ewo a particular place. Bibia ye de yani obi ya de na ekoso a owo aduro so ni aduro a eye sei na aye no bibia ye hu bia ye ni nko an ye de hye. People think I am teaching dark arts that are alien to us. Inti nkrofo eye binom se nsem a meka no enye asem a ewo hopo mebi mu mpotumi dwene se me wo bibia ema me knowledge no kire se de nyankopon de ama me ne de esua ni nyina eye religion na keji ya dwene ena ma ye se ye ntumi nko even beyond this dimension enko other dimensions enye nokre se ni ama we ya hayenyo obi dress too much a oye maame watasa wo ho ye fede a wewu obi dress a oye ahyaweni obi ye adwuma na ekoso chen obi di a wakoji sikaduro wu aye wutiri ho basa ni wunufu ne nam ebi nam Togo ne ebi nam Cote d'Ivoire ena wusi dokunu nachi na wutiri ho ena obi so adware ohieni watu ni foso atade kama na wahye na wachichiri ni ti ana wabo ni ti kama na ono ane dokunu ne nkrofo to onhwe ni tiri ho fi no sebe ode be hye odi ote ho na ye ton na de ne se wakoje aduro no de ton dokunu no de sanse sebio ye what spiritual people almost operate a lowest frequency mu no obeko no ho wakwa akoka chense obi age eduro ntimi so mekoje eduro wan peneso ama wa onya 1 cedi. This is our condition. So today I have decided to just give you a small editorial, a quick one on some secrets about dark arts and why some so-called religions do not get as much bashing from me as Christianity does. I am in kukokukosa and krofono because ebinumu ye open-minded. Though they believe in what they believe, but they are open-minded, they will not come attacking you. But Christians, I don't know what they think. They feel they know. Almost no mu the list too. Sanka be ya komu no mu sawum. So today, I want to explain myself to you per what I see. Why Christians call me names eno na nne me pesa me to me bo asen na me ne o ekom. And the topic is the Baphomet correspondence. Eno na nde ye discuss me mo akwaba e de ba who favorite obi na kan show no so time with Maame Grace.
Baphomet, a spiritual symbol seen as satanic. Same way, other teachings that challenge religion are tagged as demonic worship. But what is the nuance of this mysterious figure of the goat with wings? The Bible says in Matthew 18 verse 18, "Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." This is the background of Maame Grace's editorial that the Baphomet contains hidden knowledge about correspondence and duality that must be studied, not worshipped.
Yo abusia me mankrankra bia achen e mankrankra bia aha e mankrankra bia ajo baabi a wo bia ne time a abo wo ho bia hono mu nchia e na mede ebo epini wo megimidi so odomfo na da roma enchechere mada wabodwum e na moja nsusu edi wo mu afrusane de abeto wo se yese enye ahoden e na mesre efri obade ne ho e de mawo isanse wo ye nipa ide wo ahoden se wo betwi afa bibi biara a ehye wo so ana edi wo so eso ade a abeduduru African fo ana bibifo a sebio se ye kasa no ne yenti ase o se ye brofo no na aha ya dwunyo eno na medwene ho a mentumi nti ase ade a ede yenya ba so low na ma yentumi hwa ade mpo enkwa akire na ye de ya adwene ekarikari niama ebubu nipa ho ade ede to abonten eka nipa ho asembone e wo mra impoye nimu no na ma ye social media so nyina ye ntokwa. We don't know acting, we don't know drama, and we don't know somebody who is working. Se doctor nia sebio nedwuma oye ni se otwetwe nipa nan na oji nipa nkwa no okotwetwe nipa nan na onye bronsam de otwetwe sebio nipa nufu otwetwa ne tutu nipa ni se de nipa ni benya nkwa na onye bronsam na se me nso me ka bibi kiro na me dane bronsam asebe na ye wadwene e na esua uye ohiani e wadwene mu na ade ba ko e disa problems we nyina ba ya ade e friend say worship hypnosis eno na abaye one of the biggest problem before. From the beginning of 2024, I entered a spiritual scientist declaration where I mostly brought human anatomy and its relationship with our spiritual education. 2024, no, me catch before 2024, banana me catch will say this year you better delve deeper into spirituality and so we platform you watch wa hu baby aye nam sesi ye di jani gumwa butokro bi atum na se nyankopon ana odomfo ana obo ade no etimi ma ye nkwa na se yete ase a 2025 eniama obehunu wani so no wada wu afam kura benyane eno eni adwuma ayeye nti dia me catch earlier this year no eno a ho adwuma e na yeye. There is nothing bigger than you. Me peso bi ate ase bibia ni wiase we say mu a yetimu ya eso chen wo. You create, you control, you rule, you are life, you are God, you are a spirit. Me pesa wote ase bibia ni wiase we mu a wo ye nipa a wo hwe me on this plane eye bigger than you. Eye straightforward. Se nimde ni nduru ho a ena eye ma ti se kan kita no unim se betumi atwa we betwa se ja wo ho na unim se hwe obeto mama na hwe am se poison wo ho na unim ano a se DDT gu cap ma ene milk gu cap there is no difference se wonni hu nimde na wanhua na wanhu a wo betumi anom awu se ye de apetashi ehwe fridge mu a wo num asente no kora wonte wan hwa obefa one bottle anom se ye nsuo owuo na obewu nimde a nipa ni and sadie we ya tro wo Bible mu o say lack of knowledge my people perish ohiani ene dia onim nimde enti niama bi a ye nim na ye mankrofo bi galavante around se Baphomet wa ye say one ne legends o se ne legends omo aba be hia monka one na chidifo Niyama wei na yentumi hwe na yehu. Eno na ye biggest problem. Inti ende ye delve deeper into one image, one name. And Crawford who din bebre social media obia wo explanation translations obi create to make us on any coordinator inti ende mama yen delving kom ni yenhwe. So I have spent a lot of time and investment in bringing out my understanding of how your body is everything that is in the world of spirituality. Spirituality is not drama. It's not a game. It's not whooshios. It's not about wearing all sorts of things. Spirituality is you. You are life. You are God. You are spirit. So therefore, you are a spirit being. That is what makes you spiritual somebody. And you be an was spiritual, and ye initiation, and a bema wo spiritual. Say ye woo na and quabet na umua. What be ye spirit being when you were born? And tin you be and the best say near mama say fejare, and then you be and the best say near mama say no and son what be spiritual. A ye growth. Said ya ye wo na wo wia ya wo de nante ya wo de be ye penny sana spirituality. You are spirituality. It's not in anybody. You don't find it outside of you. It is in you. I want everybody to get this straight. So when I tell you are spirituality, I'm not even joking. Don't let anybody fool you or deceive you. And without missing words, the Baphomet, that's more spiritual education about the human body than I have ever done or any religion has done. I want everybody to understand this. So the Baphomet sitting there is not anybody's master. On any beko dinner, any nkrofo a edinechi, and your knowledge. Let's delve into it. The illusion that satanic and demonic images are associated with things like these must be carefully explained. Yehu niyama bia, yehu signs, yehu symbols bia, yehu the way I de yeni. E de explain it just like yehu nkrofo so omo nam kuroma. Yen ye hwe omo ho, ene omo ntade omo hye, ene de we omo address, baby omo atue, ye nti vibrations kura ase. Na kremoni kura wako meka na ye di gold e hye ne se no. Onim de nti a gold ne hye wo say raise the frequency. Onim inti so obi di gold ache ne se a onya ahya wo obi atue ne hwini mu a portal asawa bie no de ogina nchen ne nti ase o de nani hwe nipa ne pieces ana ne piercing no wa ma ne din. Your biggest problem ni yet ye ni hwe bibia ye wo translation inti ye can't say bibi ye evil dia ye de ye ni hu na se wo ye wodam na obi ehu na opia bonten ba na wachichiri wuti bare na honhom si wuso a wo ye medra kora inti se si obi a da ni kristoni because wo nya ye kristoni pa to you no money is not part of you eye no kore. Is this true? Ana knowledge no e na eni ho ye de ye ni na nti ese ye to ye bonu ekireche ni am na men read book we read no we bisa ne say nti we read da o read da na we nya kura we use da o use da nani ene de ayaka ato na adwene mu no nti nkrofo bebre opportunities abom because yaka kire om say we ye evil na we ye say efri na kosa wo hwe me a emfa wani nhwe obi a wo nim no na conclude say oye nipa bonini even so obi be ka kire wo say asomasi oye nipa bonini oye say nya woni nipa ni nya encounter because obi ane ade a ehia no a de efri mu eba nti so obi ni obi ko hia ye kwan o hia no ne kwan o ne nante wo so ne emere a omu hia ye no mu no ne a attract ye no ebi a woni nipa ni ko hia ebe attract something different nti moma yenjai ya dwene no dia obi aka kire yen na ye di so no moma yen yankasa yen confront niama because udua emo wateche mu eyeye ba udua banchi wo ma enyeye eno nkire sa teche no asase na nya asase pa eye nimde moma yensua sa de weni yensua ne yie enti se bibi nye ma wa eno nkire sa eno so enye o ma obi anadwo eye sum wo hwehwe ade a wuhu nti beka se wo ade ase se mi jai madwuma nanso hu hia nti se wahu bibia ni wiase mu anya ade papa eye ade a wo de beye ekwanhia wo ni bedi eno empuni mpu a wo ne bebo na kire se eye ana ase nye nti so obi fra wo phone so no say obi ma wo a ye careful me kire we nyina mu se de beye a me nsore keke na me nkowura we mu me pese me twe wadwene esi bibi so everything about Baphomet no it must be explained. So I don't jump into it and start telling you to go and watch the Baphomet. Ese me to me bo na me chire mu yie edema wo. The way we measure things ne de, we measure things synthetically. Asase we no a program ya dwene na kodu level bi a ne ye hu nko a enu nti no bi a peka e chen ni nyonku nipa because obi wo hokra wo yire na waware no ne bi a na ye wo ba bi a wo ni na chi apemba to ye nhwehwe kra no because honam ne ye de ye ni hu nti honam no nko a ne ye hwe ade a attractive e ma wo ko ware no ade a attractive ma wo ne wo madam ne ye adwuma no. We don't look beyond this physical world or this synthetic world. Sa ne ye de ye ni hwe niama eno na ama nipa ebre ye nya sika pa ye nim ade a ye mfanye e bia ye adwuma 1000 ni nyina egu because onto me nwura dia eye beyond your de nani hunum no mfa operate ye won krofo bi ane omo ye adwuma kra no mutua wo ka wo sika no hu ade a wo de beye esese wo ne ye adwuma ana se wo hwe ani so oh this woman is who na wo ye adwuma but wo ne nipa na ye adwuma no influence any impactation aba wa bra boss ne se de wetumi akọ wanim no ene na kire se mu wiase who belong to me because Christopher say what the spirit conceives give birth to the physical. Enti se wunyo obi a wunim obi ana wo sade huhumu na wo hwe honamani a wo betu bibia ato atwene na wo beye miserable because de yehu wa hade de ye de ye ni hu ne de ni nyina ye owuo. I have done a death realm. So one shot wo betumi akose after this show. Enti emfo wani nhwe niama na enkondeme keke. It doesn't work like that. Na bibi anye na wo hu owa wo da ye mu a na ye beka ye betwa fasting kra ma na ye ya ma anu maduro because aduro ni nyina hu so wo ni mienu da wa chichiri dua no hu no si men go hospital kra se wo de wani na wo ka se wo hu owa ye sei and ye aduro de ma anu bi se wo nim na akoso da ye na hu owo fasting betwa ma no. One of the heaviest problems of our universe is the word worship. Ade ye kum yen I say ya dwene. Worship worship everywhere. And no na ya de ekuma bi before honhom omokra ani omunipedua. Any religious person, the moment they see any image that looks wild, they think about idol worship. Inti so muhu Baphomet oh ye hu hon oh ya abosomsom na abosomsom na nkasa kra no ye nimade kwa ye abosomsom ye nimana ye ka bibia tra like that sometimes a hard dream na tete so the worship problem has done damages to humanity and empowered religion to manipulate us and divide us into deeper destruction. We woka omumpeda omu eni nje hoda woka we ya omumpen worship no worship ehin efiri baaye me ka we ya look into it in total na hwese asama me ne woka no etisanya na anytime someone comes on TV to talk about the Baphomet, they talk about worship. When a Christian sees an Egyptian sphinx, they say it is for worship. When they see the horned goat with blood on the mouth, they say it is for worship. When they see Jesus, it is for worship. No, none of these religious or spiritual icons are for worship. Not Jesus, not Allah, nobody. The Creator has got nothing to do with worship. Get that one straightforward. If you want to know owners of worship things, those who are giving you all sort of books, I will tell you before I finish. It has got nothing to do with the supreme being. I want everybody to get this straight. The reason you can never tell us your destination. Who has ever told us about God or heaven? You go there according to you and you see the same things here. So where did you go? How many dimensions have you even accessed? Wo dream say wo akọ heaven aba. I say o so ti so bi ewu ansa wetumi akọ o say ma I see di. Bible na some more kind. They say mukoko without owu. Masan aba no masan abeka. IGP no buy no kan mukwa aya monfa cameras nko. Ya mwetwa. Say no de be stop him prophecy. Onipa da sani to me stop you Nyankopon voice. You see our problems. Anything worship is from a draconian spirit or archons. Straightforward. Worshipping spirit feed on their servant's soul. It is not the supreme being. He created every human being. He doesn't need you for anything. He gives soul and doesn't need it for anything. Anything worship, anything that will promise you somewhere, your soul will go somewhere. Wunhunu waha, na obehunu later. Nenya will source. Na ukwakonya reward uhobia is a draconian god and their promises. The archons and their dwarfs, they are responsible for worship. Maka. People know this. They are scared to talk about it. Because it's not easy. They throw you into all these worship things and what do you do? Yes, if ubeye oath, ufuma obekun. Oko God honomu Jesus honoma, honomu so ube ode okra no de bema. Eno so wanhwa obehwere okra da nkwa ma ne kra na waje awie me hwere already. Here. Uko Allah, the same issues. Obia is playing and using now doing worship. They feed on souls. They were able to distort the original earth for humans. Almost distorted, almost created this synthetic world. One thing they couldn't do was to create souls. So what they do is to recycle and then they throw us into this dimension. And when we come here, we have to serve them and worship them. So worship is not from the supreme being, it's not from the creator. Every guru that is watching me know what I'm saying, but they are scared to talk about it. So it is confusing why religion cherishes worship and attach it to blatantly anything they don't understand. And yeah, okay, because they are confused. But one, the funniest aspect of all these things is they almost throw mbobani ade, but omu nyina so baby omu gidi se omu nyame omu kwa mbobasem. How confused ayaba beye. Bibia omu ntiase bia a problem. This is where it is coming from. That worship programming. Omwadi adi distorting omudi a choky baby I turn obi be afemu say or kwhwehwe originality no we no mudi esi ano some adwumani say yes yesu no ye bottle na me ntumi hu say yes omo mbekọ heaven na ye bottle no we are osanso say say ye bottle wa adwene mu. I mean how does this work? Just say asem no wo ka wo ntumi hu baby a wo beka bi abusia San Crawford worship for you amusi omode heaven abremu. Say atrocity and Crawford we be cause Africa, the Arabs and these people. Ewo hanom say enye bone ma omo a enye me bone kakre ya me enlighten people. E na me so omo ye no omo enu omo ho a munjai na me so me nsen ne me sen. Me wie na obi enya ne wie a me so me ba be apologize. Na ye nyina yakoye ni. This is the problem. Worship is not from the creator. Now let's look at Buddha love. One of the reasons why I love Buddhist monks is this. They don't worship the Buddha. No. They only seek to learn from his techniques. Entinka Christopher numpo. Eye omo adwene se omo be hwehwe techniques na Yesu ede ba ye na anka beboa. Say Islam for you so share some better techniques no Allah de buy because we believe you when you asem but mun call the enlightened part of it and no enetimi bu anipa senke betumi aye senya nka beboa papa. Unlike Christians who blindly say Jesus is God and must be worshipped. How original Buddhist philosophy, as I'm told, does not support worshipping Buddha as a god. Na minim baby omonso makote afa sesia. Buddha cannot save you. No. Buddha is not a god. It was a person who has awakened and has transcended. That was Buddha. He was not a god. Jesus is never a god. He was also someone who has also awakened and has transcended. If you feel he's a persona, he has overcome death and fear, and he has seen the key to ascension. This is it. This is what all these people want us to understand. But as at onipakua obedane ade ni nyina worship no eho ena nipa mpese ombedidi akọ na ne wedidi akọ ho no nimpo obeka na osuro na nsenya na yenya one Buddhist monk ewo ye show ni so na mebisa na about icons mebisa no o say okokan no a eno religious people no betumi ni those who know but how to talk about it na ye issue no ena wo kan so a omumma wo kwan ena nkrofo so capitalize wo so ena omu use eniama ekasa kire yen about awakening no enlightenment eniama Yesu beka eniama Muhammad beka eniama Buddha ebeka ye de omu ye ne omu pese ye nye no yadane ne worship ena obi atusuro so obeka ho asem. Worship is never, I repeat, from the creator. It's from the draconians and the archons. Straightforward. Who want more knowledge about this? Na ya discuss it together. We want to know the truth. He has overcome death and fear and has seen the key to ascension. So he has mapped the path to ascension. It is not about religion that royal families use to keep us asleep. Buddha's case is never a religion. I want everybody to understand this. So if you want to gain your consciousness and work on yourself, you are not supposed to worship anything. Everything you seek to find is within you. Just unlock them. Secondly, Buddha teaches a powerful awakening technique of meditation. Bible says, meditate on my word day and night. The same Christians are saying when you meditate, you will see demons. So meditation is not good. Who did this to us? Anything they be free when abba asasisu abba display no is facing death realm. It has expiring date. But there what adwini ni mu no. And no ne bie neurons no, ne bie all frequencies, vibrations, and no na a creative force. Yes, we meditate here. Demons in this is what Buddha gave to mankind, not worship. Be careful if you are worshiping him. How can I speak ill of these teachings? You can never speak ill of Buddha's teachings. Never. Because it's not worship. I don't belong to them, but truth is one. The other day, I was teaching a bishop about fasting. Now, me catch and say, "Mahu, ya nkasa ye problem, ye problem. Ya nkasa yo, ni ye ni problem, ye problem. Nti no ntumi nkasa ye wo problem. Na me teaching about fasting. Na me ka fe ojina ho no osu. Even cremophone, they are doing better when it comes to fasting, but almost what say no. And I do omutumi do fasting 40 days, and 30 whatever days, straightforward. And they are just restarting their entire system. It's restarting we call it anti-aging, the body eating itself. Minim yare bia se wunya sa idea way correct now the fema enkum even cancer. But almost so am na me wo gidie wo mumu no omo be ebosesa na omo abedi eduane ne fuka anka wukọ 40 days ni mu wie complete na wo wie you have to rebuild your proteins level. The reason why anti mu wie anka mukum nantwie no na mo are to rebuild the proteins level because at that time mo empty mo metabolism I restarted the entire system of human anatomy inti na mukum nantwie said ya mo be wi na mo upgrade mo proteins level. But obe sorry 6 no wedidi. Instead of obeye no that long time now ebe give what Muhammad was telling them no and no so cry ya twisted no worship has caused more damage. I will never speak ill of Buddhists and as a Buddha ni techniques and any teachings because it's everything spirituality. These are not worshiping ideologies like Christianity. No. These are educational and teachable theories. And no, any idea Buddha, the beche yin. Abusia, mumma yin sien free near memu. Ni yembeye akesiye and chain sedia ye hu ye. Intinkese se ye suya Buddha ni teachings ni yebeye bigger than Buddha. Or no ankasa mpo beye proud because life ankasa eye baton. Inti nka we change ama ye no ne ye de kwa yanim obi awo ne ba opese ne ba ne be yie e chen no. Nanso when it comes to enlightenment ye duru Jesus wa na yaka Jesus ase ho na ye som no. Jesus da kuru opie na obebum wa soro ho a mo ankasa mo beji mo ani so. Enti none of these entities na these teachers no want us to worship them. Nobody. Me pato se wu obabi nso wo Bible mu a Yesu kan se mo nsom na wo betumi atwero e wo comment section. That's why I said sometimes when you read more about Islam, I'm not saying the worship is good, but I had to say omo niam bi omo ye ni. As omo de no wo beti kakra afimu dan. This is the same as the Baphomet. No, be say or no or some Baphomet. How can you say? I mean, how? How can you say this? Say was some Baphomet. A crime ben so at which level? The Baphomet is not an idol of worship. It is a complex education of your spiritual anatomy. That is what Baphomet represents. I didn't want to go there yet, but everybody that sits on the internet talking about Baphomet is either or the Bema Abeifo or the Bema Okotofo, and no must center everything around Baphomet as a god or as an idol or as a demon that people worship. Ne bimukras or money ne coordina. And until I decided say maybe this knowledge so you can call me Jezebel because I like to find the deep hidden knowledge behind these things. This is what I do. Anything I will condemn, I don't want anybody to fool me, and I want you to do the same thing. Use your phone for a better thing. Don't be rich with cash, raw things, and be poor in your brain. And a Bible, a lawyer, a doctor will go to all this school or be pioneer nipa yem yadie asevi nipa nkwa Bible nkwa de mo fancheme obi a wan ko school credit me translate Bible ma lawyer doctor no mo te ho na ye translate ma omo. You have knowledge, you are rich, but you are poor in your head. I go beyond the normal 5 senses to investigate these things so I'm able to understand. I have made a decision. I think I'm going to hold it in high esteem. My imagine say me intro me cash and bundles of money and farm adu because adu ni nim say sika no say ogia obetumi di ato acres of banana farms o troma no kora o nsum because onim ne boa esom adu ebe so kwadu ba akumu than a bundle of dollars. Enti sa me decide na ye slogan dada. Say ye casting ye pearl among swines. That's why you guys are called the pearls. But now no ma upgrade me who say see apa na hana metem. Me infa misika akesiye important things infa ma do because I do nimpe ye kwedu. Inti asema meka no wa efa wo ho no fa. Won peso a wo betumi atena ho na ya recycle mo na ya ma mo drama because eno na mo pese muhu. When the Baphomet was initially discovered in the cult of the Knight Templars, I believe someone me call London na me kocha the question na mo ko muhu say me visit. Or some of you were asking whether those cult groups are still there. Some muhu ye. The original founders of the Illuminati, the first accusation was that it is a pagan god of worship. So it became a satanic and Gnostic idol of worship. All these things started free about Baphomet. History no na media amount. We have been hypnotized from seeing the importance of anything by association of satanic worship. If you worship the Baphomet, you are wasting your time. You are only feeding your energy to a wicked archon. Because Baphomet is not supposed to be worshipped. If anybody tells you on social media or whoever that or some Baphomet sin who nakacha say me grace me say aye archons na o use. I'm not just saying this I'm coming to explain this for you. And these are some of the things I can say them me name you no esi from say kim. Me say obi e ka kire also ono or some Baphomet afre by Revelations platform so bunch of liars using archons putting people in reincarnation cycle and tomb. Modern crofo kra and the didi agro in the name of spirituality. Sometimes you sit back and you don't know what to say because a crony nya wo dia and then you na betru obi ade onye na ya na mo mu di echire no mobo na de na obeye. There is time for everybody because there is time for everything. And so be kachira wo frinda wutie mi so some Baphomet kachira ne sombra revelations platform so men jinindi he's a liar, he's using archons. Everything worship is from the archons. I have said it again. This is the third time I'm saying this. Na bebia ubefebia and na worship bebia this wicked archons. This is what they have done to us. A president is moving, a king should worship him, a king is there, ne nkrofo should worship him. As also for wo ne yire mpeduma ye asori members no they have to worship. The worship no descended from the archons to their masters to whoever. This is where we are. I didn't think ye nuanom na me worship you. Tell me why. I'm ye saying tea, and I'm ye saying tea, and I saw worshiping me, and I'm in a mood scanty, and I'm not ye saying, and I'm ye saying, we are managing director. Akwalaketwa. O papa size ne ye security. Umbuno. Kasatra no rough. Wait for it. These are key things I want you to remember whenever you see the Baphomet. Me babe bubu at the amount. Don't worship. Nobody is worshiping Baphomet. At the whole thing now is sihono. And no na mi be bubu mu na ma label the amount. Now what she say if it is for worship and you brunsam there and I say because people want drama. No I said that for Baphomet. No I ye bibi so na ni hu ye hu. The Baphomet is a silhouette of you. It is like an X-ray of your spiritual body. Obi a ohu ade pa no se be mu se na obo se nipa ni gina wa you look at the person who penetrated through the person's body, the ariano, not body, no, wow, tidy, that is what Baphomet is all about. You see, when you put your entire body into an X-ray machine, it scans and shows your skeletons. That is what Baphomet means. Now, me babe to me bona matrechrim. Impese village champion na John guy bi aba be kase minim ni America. There are things when I'm saying them, you can see how I'm talking about it. Me kasa about it with confidence because unims enu enche da nye ade a se won da nye sure na okeka eka bi. So wo ho knowledge more about this. Come and let's talk about it. Me kaita mana me wa sorry no. Some ye program no mo de me picture boss for and na say fireworks. I was singing beyond way. Prophetess Maame Grace, yes, your baha ni na why you gidi. Sanka ye Jesus nana ya. Adena mi jaye no. Anka menina anko. A lot of you are using your own energies. Na mo attribute mo obi na eye mo samu de mu nye nipa kora wo wiase. Se Nyankopon de mu gina ho no bisa mo question na mbotumi yi ano de. Mo ma kwan kora. Eniama bebre wo ho a nipa betumi aye ba ye di show bi. Listen, all the machines akese abeba a wo ko hospital so mu use wo ne ade ye nipa abilities. Ekromu hankwa no nipa wa ability ode ye bibi omu so ye nyame. Odwen ho ntumi nti ase ene nke long mass se ne yen kosom ne. De aye. Ye wo problem o ebi before. Ye wo problem rough. The Baphomet is when your body is put under a spiritual X-ray. Instead of skeletons, you see that image, and this is a very powerful image that has so many codes and meanings. So, una say hua bibia party bia wo ade a echere. I don't know why the worship na chu yadwen. And at the yamponi say, a chiwi yadrin and kaya fadia yen shemu fan quachiri, and also so be your problem. Into ya static na ye real. Say, if you said the uncola, a cuckoo nipa rough. Abusia Munjindi say Bibia Bessia, so medical catch them with the way drugs is going on, and the way our sex in Koso on Coleyimu, and the way Omu Yamakatam says, I near ya one ye bibi, near be knowledge way so a man colano. 5 years, 10 years to come. Ye man better than moi. Mufanche me sabi. Edio say ye enjoy and a warrior and a juma and a mipesika and I say ye enjoy all those synthetic niamana ye chire with minim. na se ya nhwe ye daachi freedom ho ebe ya rehusem. The goat head is a symbol of female fertility, female energy of Hathor. We've treated that. You see this with Baphomet. Symbolic with the birth portals and how we come into this world. That is what you see with Baphomet. It separates the heaven realm from the physical realm. The whole being na ejina hono and a symbol na ejina hono. It's a whole language about you. Why do you attach worship to Baphomet? Say wosun Baphomet na Baphomet ne Nkrofo by where? We have to take mental illness seriously in Ghana. It's too much. In the name of religion and our whatever worship. It means that from the head down is earth. From the head of Baphomet down is earth. That separation is what is very important about the Baphomet. Sa separation, eniyama akesiye ya maken. Eno na ewo Baphomet hu a hu. Say yetumi nkaye mo kan say mo ko lebo mbebe. Ene nkotre, ene frogs wo school no. Komo ma mo lebo Baphomet. And nobody will fool anybody's child in the name of occultism. Too much. It signifies male and female, heaven and earth, light and darkness, the harmony of two energies, as above, so below. This is Baphomet. Stop scaring people with spirituality. Spirituality is never scary. Stop it. Spirituality in your bloody. Say mojasem and it's a joke, it's a lie. That is archons, ghosts, dwarfs. Spirituality is you. It should be comfortable. No reactions. So today's episode is to highlight the true balance and correspondence energy in the Baphomet. The reason the topic is the Baphomet correspondence. And then ibubum na wa de asisie ni na wo fia na wadwene ho be mo bi ehunu na fi ni obi a ho de be yusu e de ayade a hye omo ho anuonyam na wote de a wote. This is shown by one hand of the Baphomet pointing down and one pointing upwards. Asem na oka ni na aniu ensa na mo hu na aye saying a o madane ni issue. It symbolizes that whatever is happening in your head happens in your body. Medikai actually wodada. So when they say God, when they say above, it's all about your brain. When they say above, when they say heaven, it's your brain. When they say hell, when they say below, it's about your lower chakras. What is it again? Why? Why are we scaring people? Your heaven controls your earth. What happens in heaven is mirrored on earth. Omo say chechire no wosoro a ni chechire no wase se wunya adwene ho adwene mu a wo be execute se wunya chechire wa adwene mu we ye simple thing no. I don't know why ya ye no hu no panyimu a wawo ma waware asebe fun fa ncheme ne moto mu na ya ase afu wo God na wo hwe ewiem mo amatena play mu no mo hwe altitude a echo wakwakoto so obi te hoda. Asem na ye mobile me before. And sometimes we took an announcing for social media pa in fact enyo. Mama yesusu. Enye aya na afedi mobile style bi. Sha brofo no social media so niame omoye. Ye die futu from Brundam. Arehu sembe nie. O se ni aya chechire no wosoro no. Achechire wo fom ha. Wo Bible no mu. And so onipa da se ne agya sa adwen we ho enenam ehwehwe bibi wasase so a I don't actually know what they are looking for. Arehu o mobo keke na wo mom a wo ka we no enua ade a wo badwene wo wadwene mu no eno ana wo de beba wadwene na ye spirit na unipedue na ode beye nti na Bible say what the spirit conceives unyi wo se sha ade no wadwene mu a it will give birth to physical. What are we looking for out there? There is a touch on the head of the Baphomet, which shows that upper chakra, higher mind, higher self, the mind that empowers our path. Torchlight in the moment. It's all about the pineal gland, intuition, the power in the brain. The gland is the seat of the soul. Creation ni bibia ekoso. And no touchlight here Baphomet. How do we translate this? There is a 5-star pentagram on its forehead that symbolizes the 5 points of the human elements: air, fire, earth, water, and spirit. All this is with Baphomet. A whole human spiritual anatomy is being worshipped. How can you worship something that is in you? Obia label. Facha me, if this is not madness, what do you call it? Sorry. Your human body, its spiritual shadow, is the Baphomet. It's not anything anybody should worship. Nkrofo to me so die, ehu omo ho, edwane free omo energy so, obe force o ama watie no, na wadiye na odwane, because ya ka kire ni say uhu owa eyewei, uhu we ya eyewei, uhu we ya, nti niama bebredi ye yankasa nya, e wiki ye down, because ye feel said ya ye twetwe bi eni ye mu, age ye hwehwe no wo baabi. Your biggest problem, it is not satanic worship. Nobody should lie to you. Say Osun Baphomet, report him to police. Ghana police, the spirituality. Those who worship it are doomed. If you follow anybody to worship Baphomet, you are finished. Now we are seeing it's all about poverty and the monies they were looking for. And those who run from it lack understanding. You lack understanding. This is the explanation of Baphomet. It is a symbol of education. It is what shows us the corresponding power our human body has. That is Baphomet. It is a Baphomet in a Wujania. How do you know yourself? Who will even give this knowledge out? Because obi beka osro. And I'm a son Baphomet. And I'm a Baphomet. And I'm a Illuminati. And I'm a S occult. Who ye dear ben? Why? You are nobody. You are lying. Baphomet is you. How do you see? How? Like tell us. How do you see this? Enemy who Baphomet. Enemy. People are following blindly. Listen, I have said this multiple times. So when you are following the masses, be careful. Sometimes the aim is silence. So the next time you see Christians insulting me, understand that I criticize their worships. And they see all educational elements as agents of Satan. All these are machinations of people who want to prevent truth and love. Me, if you hate me as a Christian, I don't know what to tell you. And your pastor never force you. You know I am making sense. Even some of the pastors know I am making 1 million sense. Some even don't know how I get all this knowledge. This is Baphomet. What is evil about this? Even if you should understand this, who do you worship? Are you worshiping anything? Now everybody hates grace. Cause of worship. Never worship it. Not for humans. Worship is never for humans. It's not for us. The Archons created their synthetic world. No one to me body painting no more a recycle ya begum. Now mo ye joke. Yes, some more. Say oba de nimpo wo ho no be Kenya ne ho a. Ombeka chense nkrofo we na obesehwe omumpo omusum yimpo ye omude. We have a long way to go. So this is Baphomet. It's not idol worship. It's not for anybody to worship. So anybody who tells you say Osun Baphomet sinu who Baphomet is like honam na ya waya fi wundo mpede ho ni esisi so ni bibia ekasa kire wo unipedua honhom wo kra eni wiase nyina eka wo bom a wo betimi atena mu comfortably a wo beto wabrabo ase de ekosoro ne de eba fom eno na Baphomet symbol no e kire wo enye idol for anybody to worship. Lebo na maya ama. Because the world that love creates cannot be manipulated. Ade bia ye di odo aye no. Ewiase aye di odo aye no bi entumi nse no. So they want fear and hate to create the world so they can manipulate us. Medical catcher, omuntumi mbo embo oma distorted aye omu wiase. Omuntumi mbo nipa ngumuda. Unya usika ni nyina wahu se de asebe facha me awone mba wahu se ne awobre nipa ye de sika to ankobi ato omu create sika create cars create bibia they can never create souls omu kuso omu try ni a lot of things cost. Into worship is not for you as a human beings, and I won't go heaven, and I'll be called some gym, and I wear ye sing. And I pray, and I sing, and I using physical things to judge people. You are miserable. You are poor in the brain. Ye bra wa ha say. Ebra ye brain in our yes, I call heaven. The same thing I hear any and ye koye no ho, and ye entra he. Praise before you. Ewurade my entra ha. Ewurade my entra. Ewurade mayentra ha afebo enye press before that say no when lie no masada ye bro before we are miserable sometimes how people would defend these things wo hwa na afi wa fere no wa pe baby ada now me de wo ba awie no me ma wati niama bi ase tie images, symbols, signs, emblems are power source of knowledge. Enye bibia ubehu biya ena udi weni bebu. All of these things niya mabebre etwa ye ho ehia ye hu ni nyina no. Omo no omo ye nimdie efapim. Knowledge is a better life. Understanding is peace. And peace is love. Love conquers everything. Love, love, and hate, hate. I keep telling you this. A force, a driving everything in this universe. These are the wheels of progress in creation. Baphomet is never a demonic idol for anybody to worship, whether good or bad. It is not for worship, just as Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, and the rest are not for you to worship them. Let's acquire knowledge so we are able to set ourselves free. This is the Baphomet Correspondence episode. Shalom. Peace.